Episode 64, Our League podcast. I'm on after the duo Eds, aka Rudiger. I'm alongside my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan. Yeah, but the young boys, they're killing me in the comment section. There's a
And
lot of young guys as well.
this is it. You've had a lot of comments of lookalikes. It's Heady one, it's Stormzy, and Ridiger. It's
Naby
the
Keita
new
as
one.
well. Naby Keita as well. And I think the common denominator is they're all West Africa. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It must be the West African features, but yeah.
yeah.
Whenever I reply back with banter because it's banter at the end of the day, innit? But yeah, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a long time. We haven't done this in a long time, so yeah, it's good.
How's the weather up there? Nice.
Yeah, weather's nice up here today. Yeah, after this, I'll probably go and sit out in it.
Yeah, we've been enjoying the weather. All right, cool. Let's start with some footy. Yesterday's game, Man City versus Man United FA Cup final win. How the fans got there, I don't know. With the bloody train strikes, that's ridiculous.
Train strikes, man.
Ridiculous. Has that like disturbed you if like you've had to come back down and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I think I was down a couple weeks ago, and yeah, it just affected my whole plan. So I had to do a day later, so come down on a Monday rather than coming down on a Sunday where I can spend a bit of time with my family. I didn't get to do that. I had to come down on a Monday.
Yeah.
And then there was tube strikes as well. Tube strikes were affecting me as well. So it's so jarring because I can't even book in like dates where I want to come down to London because I'm like, oh well, this is a train strike. This is a train strike. So yeah, it's been really annoying.
It's a proper nuisance, isn't it? Like, and I think part of they know what they're doing to do it FA Cup final week as well. They know exactly what they're doing. But
Beyonce as well. Everyone wants to come down to Beyonce, and
bro, she got like 5 days in London.
Yeah, 5 days. It's Daniel Levy. He's trying to make money.
What a guy. But yeah, what you said, Coldplay as well playing.
Yeah, Coldplay were in Manchester, but yeah, I don't know how people have got up there.
Cool, Lord knows, mate. But yeah, Man City, Man United yesterday, FA Cup final, 2-1. Gundogan contract year, 2 volleys. Now the second one obviously wasn't as clean as the first, but still 2 volleys. What did you make of the game?
The game was good, to be fair. Finals never usually live up to it, and same as derbies. Derbies sometimes are quite boring, but yeah, this was a good game. I think it would have been different if United went 1-0 up. I think they would have sat back a little bit. I think it was good that City got the first goal, and they kind of had to go for
fastest
it.
Goal.
Yeah, it was a hell of a goal as well.
12 seconds.
12 seconds in. It was just brilliant goal from Gundogan. I think he was the standout player for me. Same as John Stones. John Stones kept on. I don't know. He kept on coming up in midfield and just dictating play. City were dominant. United a bit slow out of the tracks with the early goal. I think they should have done more. I think in the game, Garnacho came on and changed the game for them a little bit, but yeah, I didn't think they had that clinical edge. Rashford was. I think he was grasping on stuff, and he didn't really have many chances in the game. So, yeah, United weren't as good as they should have been. But yeah, City are a dominant team, and they'll probably do that to any team put in front of them. Garnacho,
does he have to be a starter next season? And if so, where does he play? Because he likes to play on the left, but obviously Rashford's playing on the left.
I know. This is the thing. I'm still undecided on where Rashford. Where's his best position?
He's on the left, I think.
But he doesn't stick on the left though, does he?
Yeah.
He just floats around. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I think if Garnacho is to play next season, yeah, it has to be off the left. It has to be off the left if he's starting. So Rashford will have to be in that.
He has to play up top, do you reckon? Yeah.
Play up top, maybe. Yeah.
Is he going to be as effective though? Because obviously he likes to cut in from the left, but like, I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, is it? But if he's had a really productive season this year, he's looked extremely fit. He's been durable for the most part. Contract year as well for him. Like, is it going to be the best of ideas to mess with that chemistry.
Yeah, no, this is it. He's got the best out of him, Ten Hag, playing off the left. So I think he'll keep to that. Whether they're going for Harry Kane and sit someone in the middle for Rashford. I think, but Garnacho needs to be starting. I think
Over
he showed
Sancho,
enough.
innit?
Over Sancho, possibly, yeah. Sancho hasn't been bad at this end of the season. He's actually cropped up a couple of times, got assist and a goal. So, yeah, I think that's why he started. But I don't think he played well yesterday.
Nah, I don't think so either. But yeah, good problems to have with terms of attacking players, isn't it? All right, cool. No, let's talk teams that got relegated. Southampton, Leeds, and Leicester. Yeah. Out of the three, who do you think is most likely to come back up next season?
I think Leicester. I think you've got to give it to Leicester. I think they'll actually spend some money rather than not spend money.
Do they have the money to spend, though? That's the question.
I think they will because of these guys having
a lot of guys are leaving on the free.
Yeah, a lot of these guys leaving on the free, which leaves a bit of a salary. They've got a bit of salary
dump.
Then. Yeah. So I reckon they'll buy a couple good players, and they've also got a little bit of money. I reckon.
They just spent like 100 M's plus or more on the training ground. Remember, not too long ago.
Yeah, I know that is costly, but I reckon they didn't really spend in summer, did they? They only spent maybe about.
I think they bought one player.
Yeah, they bought one player, that Suter from Stoke, and that was it. So I reckon they'll spend a bit in the Championship. I think they'll want to bounce back real quick. I reckon Southampton will be down there for a while.
Yeah.
I think depending on who they bring in as a manager, I don't think this guy is good enough. But yeah, I think they'll be staying down there for a while. And then Leeds are another big club in the Champ.
Massive club, but they're going to be there. They're going to be there.
It could take a couple years. It could take a couple years. Championship is a dangerous league.
Yeah.
It's no joke. Yeah, you see Middlesbrough this season with Carrick, and they lost out to Coventry in one of the playoff games. So yeah, there's big teams down there, and anyone can win it. Anyone can win it.
Yeah. In terms of the players leaving, obviously Tielemans, is that his name? I've got his name. Bloody hell.
Yeah, Tielemans.
Yeah, Tielemans is obviously leaving on a free. Mason Mount is probably going to want to leave. Is it Hardy? What's his name? The winger. What's his name again?
Harvey Barnes. Yeah.
Yeah, Barnes. He's probably going to leave. Yeah. I think he's a Premier League player. I think he is.
Yeah, he is.
And then who, like, I don't know. But like you're saying, it's still a big club. People are gonna probably want to come there. It's crazy though. Like, they won the league 7 years ago? Champions League team, Europa League team.
Won the FA Cup.
Won the FA Cup. Yeah, like wow, man. It just shows like the Premier League is not a joke. It's not a joke, bro.
This is it. Yeah, Gary Lineker said that. He's like, if people were to say Leicester to win the league, have a FA Cup win, and also to be in the Champions League for...
No, they'll take that. They'll take that.
Yeah, they'll take that in 5 years or something like that. Yeah, or 7 years. So
yeah, if you said to them when they first come up, if they first come up and you said that will happen, but you'll go down. But yeah, sweet.
Yeah, you take it.
You take it. They've won a Prem before Arsenal. How about that? And then the teams coming up: Burnley, Luton, and what was the other team again?
Sheffield United.
Yeah, Sheffield United. Out of those three, who do you think's likely to stay up?
Burnley, you know.
Yeah, Burnley.
Having to watch them this season in the Championship and the style of play that Vincent Kompany has implemented into this team,
he's obviously going to get players from City on loan as well, isn't it?
Yeah. That connection, having been at Anderlecht as well, and having been around the Belgium league, I think he knows which players to pick out. So yeah, it's exciting times for Burnley.
I hate saying this because obviously my young boy plays for the team. I think Luton go back down next season. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I think they do. And shout out to Elijah, because I was just speaking to his brother the other day. I wanted his brother to come on the pod. He was meant to, but we got things he couldn't because of timing and stuff like that. I think that team's going to struggle next year. I really do, because they've got to spend money on the stadium to go up. And what players are they going to attract? That's the question. Obviously, it's the Prem, but still, like, I find it difficult. I feel like Wednesday will have a better chance of no United, so Sheffield United. Oh, sorry. I feel like Sheffield United have a better chance of staying up than them lots.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think, yeah, the stadiums are big. I think that will contribute to them staying up, or points to them, the actual stadium, because it's a really compact stadium. It's a bit like Highbury, Stamford Bridge, very compact. So they'll get points at home, but yeah, I reckon they need to sign a few good players, a few Premier League caliber players.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Luton in the Premier League, bro.
Yeah,
That's
Luton in the
insane.
Prem is crazy, but yeah, they deserved it on the day. I think they were better than Cov.
Yeah, better team, and their captain as well. Hope the best wishes to him as well, because that is wild. All right, cool. Let's go to your boys, man. Pochettino, manager. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know what to make of it still. I mean, it'll give some sort of foundation for some of these guys. I think having the Premier League caliber manager is always good. He obviously did good at Tottenham and Southampton, but yeah, I think he needs to bring on these guys
in
who
London.
Still lives in London. I think that's also a pro to the situation at this moment in time. But yeah, I think these guys on the fringes of that have potential, like Madrid, like Madueke, and what's his name, Carney Chuameka, the likes of these guys. I think on the fringes of their potential. I think he needs to bring that out of these guys.
He needs to bring it out of Kai Havertz. He really does.
Yeah, I honestly, Edwin, I'm done with him. I'm done with Kai Havertz.
Every Chelsea fan says this, bro. But there's
but what does he bring? What does he bring to Chelsea at this moment in time? He's not a centre forward. He's not a striker.
He should be playing on the right. He should be playing on the right.
Yeah, but he's so casual. He hasn't got a burst of the speed or anything. There's nothing to his game that I'm like, wow. He's just he's just so casual. I don't think I've ever seen.
Do you think he's just content now? He's won the Champions League. He's made a bag of money.
Yeah, no, you can't be content because not at his age.
I remember watching him in the Bundesliga, and I swear to you, I'd think this guy is. I would say to myself, this guy's a top 10 player right now. Like, he'd be phenomenal with Leverkusen. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is the league for him? Is it too physical? Is it too paid? I don't know.
Yeah, the price tag said it all. That he had potential. He had potential to be
great player.
That guy. He just hasn't got to the levels that we thought. With obviously winning the Champions League in his first season, we thought, oh, great, he's going to push on from this.
Winning goal.
He's just winning goal as well. And then he's just stayed the same. Stagnant, he hasn't really gone up. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from him anymore. I think obviously there's going to be a clear out from Pochettino. I think he said that with a few players. Obviously, Mount has been subject to a lot of news at the moment, which I would be disappointed to see Mount go. I would like one of our academy boys to go.
Loves the club.
He loves the club as well. But yeah, if everyone's saying it's something to do within his contract that he doesn't want to sign at this moment in time, I think it's maybe players' rights or branding rights or something like that. So it's up to him. It's up to him what he wants to do with it. So
because surely money wouldn't have been the option. I mean the obstacle, because it's like Bodie's throwing money like he's balling forever ever. Do you know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Maybe like you're saying, it could be branding rights. Maybe is there going to be a pathway for him to play? You know what I'm saying?
This is it.
Maybe he's got a word that the new manager ain't keen on him. You never know. But I would say his style of play is somewhat similar to Delhi when Delhi was at Spurs. You would have thought that Poch could have, done something with that. I don't know, innit? But But maybe he wants a new challenge as well. Maybe he's
maybe it's
London. He's being linked with United. I personally don't think that's the type of player they should be prioritizing, but if it helps with their English quota, that also helps. And it's on 1 year left on his deal. How much are they saying he could go for?
70 to 80 mil. So this is the thing with Chelsea. They look at that money and be like, maybe take it.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Last year his deal was 80 million. That's the same.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about him in a bit, but Declan, the type of money we're being linked with him with, core, it's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. But
Yeah, I think with Pochettino, I think he'll give us some sort of stability
yeah,
that we need for these next 2 years. I don't think he'll have a sort of project in place
top
as
four
of
next
yet.
year.
Hopefully, I think top four has to be without any European football. Yeah, to just prioritize the league, I'll be happy with that. Top four, maybe top two. I'll be happy with top two as well.
I
Because
don't see it
if
being
we
top
do,
two just
no,
yet.
I don't see it. But if we spend the sort of money that we have already, I think we, as fans, we do expect a bit.
Yeah.
Because of this poor season that we've just had.
Our guy Edouard Mendy, bro, being linked with a move away. Like, what actually happened to him? Like, what? Why is what's his name? Kepa, just the new guy. Like, what actually happened to Mendy? Obviously, you follow the team closer than I do.
Yeah.
Probably pay attention to the news more. Like, what? He just not playing? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. I think since Potter came in, obviously Potter liked someone that can play. I don't think so. I think he liked a ball play. He had it with Sanchez at Brighton, and he thought Kepa was the better ball player than Edouard Mendy. Even though the times I've seen Edouard Mendy play with his feet, he's actually quite good. Obviously, he had mistakes in him. We saw it in the Real Madrid game where Benzema took the ball off of him. But yeah, no, Edouard Mendy was talks of being the best goalie in the world at one point, and then this just I don't know what's happened. I feel really sorry for him because Kepa wouldn't be my first choice at Chelsea anyway. But yeah.
You lot are being linked with Onana for Mendy plus cash. Would you be happy with that?
No, I wouldn't. I obviously I prefer thingy Edouard Mendy over Onana. I think he's so much better.
Yeah, good manager. A good player. I mean, sorry. All right, cool. Spurs being linked with the Celtic manager. I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of Celtic games this year.
Yeah.
Like, I watched the odd game here and there, but obviously, I think he won the treble in Scotland. Did he?
Yeah, won the treble yesterday. Yeah.
Do you think that's a good hire for them, or is that just like a lazy hire? Like, I don't know with Spurs, man. I don't know what direction they're going in. Obviously,
This is it.
Like Harry Kane. I'm fed up of hearing about Harry Kane. Like, oh, is he leaving on there? But make up your mind. No, real talk, bro. Like, make up your mind. Like, what are you on? It's looking more so that he's probably gonna leave. I watched a bit of the Tim Sherwood, Simon Jordan interview.
Yeah.
And by the sounds of that, it's looking like, it's more likely that things gonna leave. To what club I don't know. We're hearing Bayern, we're hearing Real Madrid, so forth and so forth. Like, what do you make of them, the whole manager thing and everything?
Yeah, to be fair, it seems like no one wants to touch them. No one wants to touch
you?
them at the moment. I think the Celtic guy, Ange Postecoglou, I can't even pronounce his surname. It's a long one.
I didn't even try.
Yeah, Ange. We'll keep it at Ange.
Yeah, shout out to
Ange. Yeah, he's a good manager. Obviously won the treble. I think. You're obviously a decent manager. I think. Obviously, there's only two big teams in Scotland with Celtic and Rangers, but yeah, to win the treble, you are somewhat a good manager. I think Tottenham have to take him. I think they'll have to take someone like him because like I've just said, no one wants to touch them. And there's going to be a lot of outgoings at Spurs. Obviously, Kane being one of those guys.
Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, Lloris is. I think Lloris's time has come now. I think
he's old boy, like 36, 37, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll go back to France. He'll go back to Lyon or one of those teams. But Kane's situation, I reckon he'll go to United. I reckon he still wants to get that Premier League record. Go and beat Alan Shearer. Whether he wins any trophies at United, I don't know.
They'll win trophies. I think they'll
win trophies. He'll have more chance of winning trophies at United than Spurs at this moment in time.
Yeah, they'll win trophies. All right, cool. Let's go about my boys. Declan Rice being linked with a move to Arsenal. 100 million is the quoted figure. What's your thought? Like, do you think that's too much? Not too much? Granted, how old is he? Like, what, 24, 25, something like that? So he's got another 10 years. English player. Captain, leader of Mendy's led his team to the finals. What, 2 years in a row of Europe? London boy. Obviously we train in Hertfordshire. He probably lives in Essex. Would he have to move house? I don't know. Like maybe
Mm.
not. But still, like all these contributing factors are probably the reason why they're looking towards him. And he's really progressed with his style of play this year. I've really been really impressed with Declan Rice in terms of like pushing the ball forward, taking on players, dribbling. He looks a bit stronger now as well. 100 mil. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I think you take it, man. I
Yeah.
think 100 mil, what he can offer to your club is a lot in that respect. Like you just said, the years that he could be within that Arsenal team could be potentially a captain for
Captain,
you guys as well.
English.
Yeah, English as well. 100 mil in this current market, you take
You
it.
take it.
You take it. You take it. He's a player, like you said. He's physical now. He can drive with the ball.
Yeah.
He's everything you want. He's
Yeah.
everything you want from a defensive midfielder. Yeah, I'll take him any day for 100 mil.
Yeah, 100 mil. Yeah, the sound of 100 mil sounds steep, but when you look at the way football's going, it's like the going rate now, isn't it? Bloody hell,
Yeah,
man. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And obviously West Ham have got a clause in the contract that they can trigger it for another year, so he has 2 years, which still I get it. But yeah, in order for us to get him out of his boyhood club, captain, and to appease the fans of West Ham United, the owners are gonna have to pay that type of fee. It's similar to the Grealish thing, isn't it?
yeah,
You know, and shout out to Grealish because he's had a phenomenal second year. You know, obviously
yeah.
two different type of players, but still. Right, let's go on to a few transfers throughout the league. McAllister to Liverpool rumored to be happening sooner rather than later. Um, good deal for them, do you reckon?
Yeah, very good deal. They obviously need another two centre mids for me. I think obviously they got rid of Milner and Oxlade-Chamberlain. So yeah, McAllister's a real good player. And for that price as well, I think it's a good deal, a very good deal.
What do you think Chamberlain does now?
Southampton maybe. Goes back.
Can he even
plays
play?
in
Can
champ.
he even play? No, that's the thing, bro. Like the guy's injured
I,
like every year, bro.
I think he could. I think it's a tough one because I think he was actually available a lot of the games this season, just wasn't put in.
Just wasn't playing.
Yeah, so I reckon he could play a full season. Yeah, what level? I don't know. Maybe champ, like I said,
Yeah, maybe
Southampton.
lower prem, maybe
I
Everton.
do
You never know.
actually. Yeah, lower Premier. He's a good player. He's a
He
Premier
is a good player.
League player. So yeah,
It's just
we'll
health
have
with
to
him.
see.
It's just health with him. And when I look back
Mm.
at Chamberlain, at the time I was annoyed that we sold him. But in terms of all the injuries and stuff, it's like 40 million for a guy who's always injured. You know what? You'll take that now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like I actually get it. But shout out to him. Real Madrid and Eden Hazard have reached an agreement to, terminate contracts. That was such a bad buy. Such a bad buy. And I didn't really want it at the time either. Just because I
No.
thought it was a year too late, and I felt like Chelsea robbed us, which they did.
Yeah.
And because the guy bloody won the Champions League, we had to pay an extra 15 million pounds, which is ridiculous. That's been one of the worst signings of recent history. What does he do now? Fabrizio Romano in the caption on the Instagram thinks that he's considering retirement. I don't know if he'll consider retirement, but MLS, do you reckon?
Yeah, MLS is a good shout.
Saudi?
Honestly, I'll take him back at Chelsea for a year or two.
Would you actually?
Just to be around the club and just maybe steer some of these young guys in the right direction. Because honestly, when he went to Real Madrid, he was in his best shape. He was ripping it up at Chelsea the season before. So yeah, to have that around the club would be amazing.
Would you actually take him back? Seriously?
It just to have that experience, like I just said, yeah, just to steer some of these young guys in the right direction, maybe.
He'd have to come off the bench. I don't think he wants to come off the bench.
Oh yeah,
he wants to be a starter.
but I reckon he would. I wouldn't mind coming off the bench at Chelsea.
For Chelsea, you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairs. I hear it. Benzema, Karim Benzema, my guy, leaving Real Madrid after 14 years. After today, after our game with Atletico Bilbao, 14 years at the club. He's won 25 major trophies. Absolutely ridiculous. Last year, Ballon d'Or winner. Being reported to go to Saudi, 100 million a year. They're saying you can't. It makes sense. You can't turn it down. Also, as well, he's a Muslim guy himself in a Muslim league, Muslim country. I could see why they would want him to be, the star of the league. It just makes sense in terms of branding wise.
Yeah.
Great servant of the club. You know, it's a shame that he was in the shadows of Ronaldo for so long, because I truly think we didn't even get to see all that he could do with a team built around him. Obviously, we saw last year with him being the best player and leading us to the final. But I would have liked to seen that for like a 4 or 5 year run of him being the main man. He was just
Yeah.
a piece of the puzzle. But I don't think he's complaining. He won 5 Champions Leagues in a
No.
14-year span. That works out one every other year. Ridiculous. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So yeah, shout out to him. Your thoughts on that, and also, what are your thoughts on Saudi, bruv, going at it with these superstar players?
Yeah, I think they need to. And I think they need to compete with the likes of the MLS, with the like. They have all of these guys retiring and going off to MLS. So yeah, I reckon Saudi need to start snapping up some of these guys, and obviously they can compete with these salaries as well. So
Over compete. What?
yeah. I don't blame them to actually up their game a bit. Yeah, I don't blame them for paying these sort of wages. Yeah, Benzema, like you just said, I think, yeah, he's been a big servant to Real Madrid, and especially in the last 2 years, he's actually just. I never thought he would reach some of the heights that he has, and yeah, he's been amazing for Real Madrid, and I don't know who's going to come and replace him, because yeah, 14 years at Real Madrid is crazy.
Yeah,
It's actually crazy.
Got there when he was a pup, like 21, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he signed, he looked so young as well. It was actually crazy. Rumors of Harry Kane, I don't see that happening. I don't see Harry Kane happen. Like, I actually don't see, like, strikers are very limited nowadays, isn't it? Like, it's like the prices I just don't see, like, because who's a world-class striker? Like, actually, on the market that everyone's rumored to be wanting? Harry Kane and Osimhen, that's it. Who else?
Yeah.
Because Valevich,
There's not many.
everyone's saying Valevich. I never really
I
watched
wouldn't say he's
Arsenal,
world
and I
class.
wouldn't say he's world class. I wouldn't say he's world class either. World class means you got to do it 4 or 5 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And last year he had a struggling season as well. So like, I don't. And obviously, if Juve just paid 80, they're gonna want to recoup, if not make more. I don't see anyone paying that for him. So I just don't know who we could replace. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, also Messi being linked with a move to Saudi as well. That's why he got suspended over that, because he went there to meet them, and then PSG have suspended him, fined him as well. In terms of Messi and the PSG whole thing, what's your thoughts on that? That's just been it's not been what everyone thought it'd be. Everyone thought, like, obviously the first season he didn't play well, probably just adjusting, family things off the field, whatever. Second season he played all right. And then it was reported that he was going to sign an extension, then met Saudi, and again they offered him so much money. How can you turn it down? But we're only human at the end of the day. His time in PSG, obviously with Neymar as well being injured, linked with a move away. I could see you lot going for Neymar, to be honest. Your thoughts on them lots? Yeah,
it hasn't been what PSG thought. I think they buy these star players and expect to win. They expected to win the Champions League or be in the final, and they haven't got there yet. I don't know whether they will ever. But yeah, it's been disappointing. Messi obviously had this season and the season after before had been all right. It hadn't been amazing, and you saw before the World Cup he started having a little bit of a streak of getting assists and goals, and I think that's what he needed to get him to the heights of winning the World Cup. And then, yeah, since coming back from the World Cup, it's just been probably parties and just taking it all in. And he's probably thought, yeah, I'm about done now. I think I should be going to Qatar, and that's probably what's happened. And yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. He's reached all the heights of football now, and
he deserves to put his foot off the gas.
I know. I just think the way PSG have managed it all it's been quite disrespectful.
They have no culture, PSG. They've actually struggled to build a culture. Like, you can't just plug and play guys. You've got to build it from the ground up. Also, like, other than Kempembe, what youth players do they have in their team?
No,
Messi's not a youth player. He was Monaco guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's I think that's a core value that teams need to have. Like, if you look at Arsenal, the youth players, we've got who? Saka, Reece Nelson, Smith Rowe, you know what I'm saying, Eddie Nketiah. You know, like, I feel like this contributes towards winning football. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless you're City, but even the City group, them lot have been together a few years. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
manager's been there a few years. It's
yeah.
the same. They've got staples. They've got a culture established. So,
Mm.
and they're gonna win. Obviously, the Champions League. Everyone knows that. But it's absolutely insane. Would you have Neymar at Chelsea?
No, I wouldn't for the price and for what he offers. I don't think at the moment. I think no, because he's always injury prone. We just don't need him. I don't think we need him at this moment in
I don't
time.
think he'd last 5 minutes in the Prem, to be honest with
No,
you.
not at all.
I don't think so either. He's cool. Yeah, that's been such a disappointment, man. That's such a disappointment in terms of PSG's projects, and it's a shame because it's not a shame actually because Mbappe, you had a chance to leave, but I get it. They offered him a contract he couldn't refuse. No one could refuse that. It's absolutely
No.
insane. Like, they offered him basically everything apart from percentage in the team. If they could, they probably would. Do you know what I mean? Like, damn near $500 million in what, 3 years? Cool. But even him, what's his next move? He could be the striker, but then how much does it cost you to get him out? Like 250, 300?
Yeah, at least 300. At least
at that point, is it ridiculous though? Like, who would pay that, honestly?
Real Madrid would.
Do you reckon Real Madrid would pay 300 million?
Not gonna lie. Yeah, I think Real Madrid would do it if they could.
I just don't see Big Perez doing that, you know, like not 300 M's anyway. That's just, if you didn't spend all that money, I reckon you lot would have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, if financial fair play wasn't a thing, Chelsea would have done.
Yeah. Let's start off with my Sixers. Losing again in the second round. Obviously, they fired Doc Rivers, which everyone knew what was going to happen. Is their season a failure for them? Would you say?
Yeah, I would say because you were up in that series against Boston, and I thought you guys would have cruised it, you know. But yeah, Tatum stepped up as he does, and you guys just I don't know what it is.
No adjustments.
Seems like you didn't adjust to it. Harden seems very casual. He's another one. He's like Havertz. He can really step it on up, but he doesn't want to. So Harden's. I think you'll get rid of him in the off season now. You need these guys around Embiid to facilitate him, and because I think if you get rid of him, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You have to trust the process still, I guess. And stick with him. But I don't know how long it's going to take you guys to get to that championship position.
How long is he going to want to stay around? That's the question. That's also, after a while, he might be like, yo, bro, come on, man. I'm in my prime, MVP finally. And we're just not getting it done. Now, obviously, like with the Sixers, and this is me being non-biased, like, and just looking at it objectively, they should have at least one by now, like at least one championship. Like, Embiid had a lot of help. Now he hasn't had obviously Brett Brown the first time he was there he was a horrible coach. Doc Rivers, you know, everyone was happy with it, but then again, this guy's he's lost more game sevens than any coach in history, and stuff like that, and he's failing to make adjustments in the game. But if you look at the talent Embiid has had, and again, obviously I wanted Embiid to win MVP, but if you look at someone like Jokic, had that talent around him, he would have at least one. Now, granted, the best chance I think we possibly could have had was the Kawhi Leonard shot, which anyone wasn't, like, everyone loses to that. That's just insane. But if a Giannis had that type of a talent around him, if Jokic had that type of talent around him, like, those guys win, I personally believe. So I then ask you the question, can Embiid be the best player on a winning team?
I still think he can. You get someone that wants it as much as him. I think you've had players that are good players, but they don't seem to have that desire to win like him. So I think you need a couple players around him to actually change that mentality at Philly, because it seems like it's the same old every year. You get to these positions where actually I thought this might be the actual term for you guys in it just didn't seem to be. You got to game 7 and it was like, it was a wrap already.
Yeah, I mean Tatum going for 51 is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But I said it like before, but like we've got no one to guard the other team's best wing. Like Tobias Harris ain't defending no one. Like Maxey is a small guard. James Harden, he ain't defending no one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's a difficult one. I do believe, like you said, Embiid can be the best player on a winning team, but there needs to be the right pieces around him. Like he needs a proper wing, like a point guard that's going to be aggressive as well, a backup center as well, like someone that can actually like not imitate him because no one can imitate him. He's at this moment in time probably the most physically dominating player in the league. But someone that can come in and like do a job in behind center, some proper shooters around him, but he needs to be not as predictable with his game. He loves to get his hand out in the mid range, back it up, and he gets a lot of TOs as well, bruv, because he's so slow to release the ball. He needs to. That's one thing I'd like him to work in the off season, like releasing the ball early. Contrary to popular belief, I would actually like James Harden back. I really would.
You would.
Now, for the money, I don't know what the money would be. Like, it can't be like a max contract because if he gets a 4-year max contract, he's going to be like 37 by the time the new deal runs out. And it's just like, if he was to trade him in the year or 2 time, I don't see anyone else like picking up that contract. Like, if he takes in the 30s, I'd be okay, but I don't think he's going to take that. I just think he can't be the second player on a winning team. I think third option, cool, because we've seen it multiple times, not just with the Sixers, but with Houston as well. When the pressure's on him, now in Houston, granted, he never had as good of a team, but when the pressure's on him, like sometimes some guys, the lights get too bright for them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he might be one of those guys. I do think we need a wing. I hope we trade Tobias Harris, man. Honestly, and I like Tobias Harris. He's a good player, but just not for this team.
Yeah.
Obviously, we appointed Nick Nurse as our new head coach. I was happy with it. Obviously, initially I wanted Monty Williams, but I think Nick Nurse would be a good coach. Defensively, he can create schemes which can make it difficult for opposing teams. And I think if Harden was to leave, I don't see him going to Houston. I don't see why Houston would do that. They've got a young core, unless they want to win now. But could possibly he bring Fred VanVleet with him? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a good point guard, you know.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be too expensive, so you can get other pieces around as well. Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing. The Suns eliminated in 6 games to the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, the KD trade made them got out their roster. Thoughts on them? Obviously, KD's a year older. 2 injuries this season. It wasn't looking the best. Obviously, Booker got injuries as well. I think KD's got like another 2 years of playing at elite level. I only say that because of the injuries, not that he couldn't. Obviously, he could play elite level for as long as he wanted. Chris Paul, again, injuries. He's probably going to get traded this year. And DeAndre Ayton, someone who we've defended in the past, he's looked lackluster. He doesn't look like he wants it. He doesn't look like he wants to. He looks like he wants to be a point guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't play physical game. Your thoughts on the Suns?
Yeah, Suns. Yeah, it was disappointing, but I think Denver Nuggets on their day can beat anyone. They're just an all-round good team. They all play to everyone's strengths, which we see with a lot of the basketball teams that are very one-man teams that are very selfish, and Denver Nuggets are our ultimate team at this moment in time. But yeah, the Suns, obviously the KD trade, we thought. They look dangerous now. They could go and win it. And they've needed kind of another star with Chris Paul and D-Book. But yeah, they don't. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Whether their time has come up now, like they're done with this. The squad needs a refresh.
Yeah, it needs a refresh.
Yeah. I think a lot of the young guys we thought they may do it, but yeah, I think they've got to a time where they need to refresh and restart. I don't know what happens with everyone else on that team, but yeah, I think D-Book probably is a starter, will be that main guy for them, and then they'll get rid of a number of these top players for them.
Ayton needs to get traded, I think.
Ayton. It's disappointing because I thought he would, after getting that contract, maybe step up a bit, but yeah.
He hasn't. touching on the Denver Nuggets, yeah, like you're saying, their team is complete top to bottom. Obviously, it helps that your center is a point guard. Do you know what I mean? And his passing is just phenomenal. And people are gonna be like, "Oh, but you was cussing him." I was never cussing Jokic. Yeah, I just said I think Embiid should be MVP, which I still believe. Like playoffs and the regular season are two different things. You know what I'm saying? Um, Granted, even though Embiid went missing in a few games, but he was injured as well. Also, we have to take that into consideration. But that's part of the game. Um, Jamal Murray as well, bro, balling out of control. The first game, game one versus the Lakers, he was like a
Yeah.
man on fire. Michael Porter Jr., he will not pass. He would just shoot
No.
the ball. You know what I'm saying? I feel
Yeah,
like,
this is it.
yeah,
Everything is clicking in place, and
yeah,
you, how do you stop that? Just
yeah,
how?
yeah. I feel like Michael Porter, like, because he's a skilled basketball player. He's a good
Mm,
basketball player. He's just had, hella injuries in the past. I feel like he's accepted his role now on terms of this team anyway. Um, he's just going to be a scorer, catch and shoot guy. You're not going to
yeah.
dribble the ball like that. Murray's going to bring it up. Joker's going to bring it up. You get the ball and you shoot because 6'10" and you can shoot like that. No one's guarding you, bro. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like it's actually insane. And they got good defenders in Aaron Gordon and KCP. Just a complete roster. Now, can they keep
yeah.
it together for another season? I don't know, but yeah, man, just and a good coach as well. So I have them winning in 5. I
Yeah.
have them winning in 5, but that's not me cutting out Miami. It's just that them lots team is just it's too deep. I want to say 6, but the realist in me is saying 5 games. I think. What
Yeah,
about yourself?
yeah, 5 games, I reckon. Miami have had the hell of a run. I didn't expect them to get to where they
Yeah,
are today. Jimmy Butler's really been leading that.
yeah.
But yeah, I have them in 5. I don't think Miami have enough power against this Denver Nuggets team.
And speaking of Miami, yeah, like in terms of their run, now obviously we have to take into consideration Giannis Antetokounmpo got injured in the first round. He missed like what half the game. So
Yeah,
if he's healthy, they don't win. But sorry, we're gonna give
yeah,
them their
it's true.
flowers right now, but it's the truth. They don't win. Now, who was their second opponent? Was it New York, right? New York was
Yeah,
their
they're
second
New York
opponent.
Knicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Come on now. Who? Jimmy's the biggest alpha on that court. Sorry.
Mm,
And then the Boston one going up 3-0. It was like I was like, they're not. Are they actually going to sweep them up? That's actually crazy.
mm,
Then they went up 3-0, and I was just thinking, basketball was actually crazy.
yeah.
And then obviously the last game, they just balled out. But
Mm,
he coach is actually a thing. The fact that they've got what 3 or 4 guys on the roster that were undrafted, balling out of control. Caleb Martin, who
yeah.
was on the Hornets, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't even going to be in the league this year. Did you hear the thing
Mm.
about J. Cole with him?
Yeah. I heard that. It's a crazy story, man.
That's actually insane. The fact that a rapper, you know what I'm saying, said to Karan Butler, who's on the coaching staff, who was a former Wizard and a Laker, said, "Yo, you lot should sign this guy. He's in the gym. He's playing balling." And he was basically your best player. Like he should have
Mm.
won conference final MVP, but obviously storytellers will probably want Jimmy Butler to win it. It's a better story. But yeah, in terms of them, not like what have you thought? It's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad. Considering Tyler Hero went out with an
Yep.
injury as well, and um, yeah, I even said before the playoffs, I think I'm not really that impressed by they don't have any standout players. They're all right, they're average, but they've actually really impressed me.
Yeah.
Some of these undrafted guys have really stepped up, and I think the playoffs are a spot for these underappreciated guys to really step up and
Get
show
paid.
off and get paid as well. Yeah,
Get paid.
they get paid before they go on holiday.
Get paid, honestly, Christ. Yeah, man, absolutely phenomenal. All right, cool. The San Antonio Spurs got Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, they haven't got him, but they got the first pick in the
Yeah,
draft, which is going to be Victor Wembanyama. I think that's personally the best place he could have went to. I think Houston would have been a disaster. I think Detroit would have been a disaster. Hornets, they don't even know how to play basketball. Greg Popovich, I feel sorry for him in a sense. This guy was probably about to retire, and now he's thinking, honestly,
oh
he's an
yeah,
old boy. Do you
that's
know what I'm
it.
saying?
It's
He was probably
true.
about to retire, and now he's thinking, I got to stay here for another 4 or 5 years to coach this guy.
Yeah,
But couldn't have went to a better team, and
yeah,
they've got a few young pieces, and they got cap space. What do you think
yeah,
of him? What's your ceiling for him next season? And what do you think of the team? Like, if they add a few pieces, could they be a playoff team?
yeah. I think the hype is obviously there. I think people shouldn't expect too much.
Yeah.
I think people should stay grounded about it. I think he'll have a good season, but not to some of the heights that people probably expect him to. I think San Antonio is probably the best place to go for him. I think their history with international players, obviously their affiliation with French players is quite
small
good.
market as well.
Yeah, small market. He can go about his business, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll still have that hype around him. But yeah, hopefully he has a good season and probably wins the rookie of the year.
I think he'll be better defensively than offensively in his first season. Like I think around the rim, he'll be getting blocks, and obviously he can come out to the perimeter because he's a perimeter player himself. So I think he'll be able to guard 1 through 5. So defensively, he's going to be a nightmare. Offensively, I think he'll be a season or two until people can actually think, okay, no, I think it'll take him about. I think he'll be all-star by third year.
Yeah,
I want to say that because he's still skinny, man. Even though he's 7'5", he's still a skinny guy. Like, you know, if you get him beaten on the low post, he's having it for breakfast, isn't he? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think defensively he'll get defensive. I think he could be an all defensive team first year. You know, like, you know, just because of the hype, and they would want to create that rookie of the year. Obviously, I probably reckon he'll get it as well. But yeah, like you're saying, I just wasn't liking the hype that people was giving him, saying he's the best prospect since. Like, stop, man, stop. I get it. You guys have a job to do. You have to hype up people and stuff like that. But come on, man. This guy LeBron James, what we doing? Obviously, Lakers got swept, you know, in the semifinals. But LeBron went out for basically he had like 40, 10, and 9 at 38 years old. And remember, he's playing on an injured foot. I think his right foot's injured or something like that. He should have got surgery. Like, and obviously he had the retirement rumors. How long do you think LeBron will play for? And also, how long do you think he can play at a dominating level? Because obviously he's lost some of his explosiveness just because 38 years old, come on, but he can still play above the rim. What do you see? Like I said, how long do you think he'll play for, and how long do you think he can dominate, like being a top 5 player in the league?
For me, if I was him, I would retire now because he's on those numbers.
You'd retire now?
Those numbers say everything. I think. What more do you have to prove at this age? I think if he withstands and tries to go until he's 40, 2 more seasons with the leg that you say, it's a bit of a sticky one. He could have not a damaging effect on his legacy, but like, just go out when you're good. I reckon that any athlete that's good and the best of their game, just finish then.
You what do you, when you say retire now? Do you mean next season, or do you mean like right now?
No, not right now. Right now, wow. No. Obviously, he's got the numbers. The numbers show everything. But I'm like, what more does he actually have to prove now?
Yeah.
He's an amazing player, and I'm sure he'll go again next season.
I'll be heartbroken if he does that because I haven't got to watch him.
I'm sure he'll go another season. What? I'm sure he'll go another season because there'll be an announcement for it, and the last game will be obviously a spectacle for everyone that's there, and obviously they'll want to make their money NBA. So no, I reckon another season or two.
Yeah.
But if I was him,
if you was him, you would retire right now.
Yeah.
The NBA would not be happy with that. I'll tell you
nah.
that. They'll be like, but nah, buddy, we need you one more. We need you one more. Do your tour. I need to go watch him play in real time, bro. Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, because you're older now, you can afford it. Yeah. It'd be like an East Coast game. Like, if not, Philly,
it had to. It had to be. Maybe, New York.
New York or Philly. One of those games, quick little 6 hours in and out. You know what I'm saying? I'll go for a couple of days. Yeah, crikey. Oh, man. That's going to be a mad one when that guy retires. I'm not ready for him to retire, though. I'm not.
No, I'm not ready, but I think I wouldn't blame him for retiring that.
I wouldn't blame him either. All right, cool. Let's end basketball with punditry. Shannon Sharpe said, you know what? I've had enough of this old guy. I'm leaving. So Shannon Sharpe is leaving FS1. I think they came to a mutual agreement and contract termination. Like, you could, but the on-screen relationship was deteriorating over the last few months. Everyone could see it.
Yeah.
Especially with Skip's comments that he made, and he wasn't taking it back. Would you think for Skip going forward? I think he signed a new contract. Like, I think he's got like another 4 or 5 years on his deal, and Shannon going forward.
Yeah, it seems like a common trend with Skip. Yeah, he did this with Stephen A, and now it's come to Shannon Sharpe now. Yeah, like you said, the relationship was a bit topsy turvy at the end. Didn't seem like they were getting along. But yeah, I reckon Shannon goes on to do his podcast that he's been doing. I think he still does that. But I still think he needs a primetime TV, I reckon, Shannon, because he is
ESPN?
such I don't know. Potentially. He's such a big character.
I don't watch
and he
First
backs it
Take,
up
but
as
if he,
well.
I don't watch First Take, but if he went on, I'd watch First Take.
Yeah, defo. Yeah, I don't think that it's been about 2 years since I watched First Take.
Yeah, I
haven't
don't
watched
watch it. That show is it's not for me. It's not for me.
No,
I get why people
no.
watch it, but it's just not for me. But if he was to
Yeah.
go on, I think I would watch it though.
Yeah, he's someone that backs up every point, and you're
stats,
like, oh,
innit?
yeah, with stats as well, and I'm like, oh, well, he's got a fair point there. I wouldn't have looked at it that way.
And he's actually a Hall of Famer,
So
which gives him
yeah,
some credence, especially with the NFL.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's not like these other guys that are just talking out their arse. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's
Yeah.
been there, he's been in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, I'm interested to see what he does next. But yeah, like you're saying, probably the podcast still.
Yeah. Skip. I don't know what happens with Skip. Skip remains at FS1, but I don't know whether they'll have the same sort of show.
Yeah, I don't see who would partner him. Maybe that Ocho guy, but again, I don't really watch any of the FS1.
Yeah, no,
stuff,
I don't think anyone would click in for that.
Yeah, nah, I just don't see it. It's coming towards the end. He's an old guy, man. Take your money and chill, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything else, bro? I think that's it. I think we've covered everything.
No, I think that is it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Episode 65 hourly podcast. I'm on to do Ed's, my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan. Follow, like, and subscribe on all channels. And you don't stop calling me Navigator, bro. Bloody hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Heady. Every comment, Heady 2? Question mark. Bloody hell. No, I'm joking. I don't mind it, man. That's been us. Follow, like, subscribe, everyone. And that's been us. We're out. Peace, people.